My cousin borrowed my inheritance ring and put it up for sale. She was trembling in fear when I showed up at her door with the police. My cousin tried to sell my grandmother's emerald ring online for $8,000 after I loaned it to her for one night to impress her boyfriend's rich parents. The ring belonged to my grandmother Rose, brought over from Ireland in 1952, sewn into the lining of her coat. She'd sold everything else to pay for passage, but kept that ring, her mother's engagement ring, the only piece of her family she had left. When she died 5 years ago, she left it to me specifically, not to my mother or aunts, but to me because I was the only one who'd sat with her through chemo, learned her recipes, and recorded her stories. The will was explicit about this. My cousin Amber had been pestering me about that ring for years. Every family gathering, she'd make comments about how unfair it was that I got the only valuable heirloom, how grandmother played favorites, how I probably influenced her while she was sick. Her mother, my Aunt Delia, would join in, saying the ring should rotate through the family, that I was selfish keeping it locked away. I wore it exactly twice a year, my grandmother's birthday and the anniversary of her death. 2 months ago, Amber called crying. Her boyfriend Christopher's parents were coming to town. Old money from Connecticut, owned galleries and vineyards. She needed to make the right impression. Christopher had mentioned his mother loved antique jewelry, especially emeralds. Could she borrow the ring just for one dinner? She swore on her grandmother's grave she'd return it the next morning. I said no initially, but she kept calling, texting, having other cousins message me about family helping family. My mother finally said I should loan it to keep peace, that my grandmother wouldn't want us fighting over jewelry. Against every instinct, I put the ring in its original box and drove to Amber's apartment. Made her sign a paper saying she was borrowing it for one night only, had to return it by noon the next day. She laughed, said I was paranoid, but signed it. Noon came and went. No Amber. I called, texted, nothing. That evening, she finally responded saying the dinner went late. She'd return it tomorrow. Tomorrow became 3 days, then a week. She stopped answering entirely. I was about to drive to her apartment when my friend Jen sent me a link. Isn't this your grandmother's ring? There it was on a high-end vintage jewelry selling site. Authentic 1920s Irish emerald ring, exceptional clarity, authenticated, $8,000 firm. Seller, Amber Rose, vintage. The listing had 17 photos from every angle, a detailed description calling it a family heirloom from the 1920s passed down through generations, and her location, posted 4 days ago, meaning she'd photographed and listed it 3 days after borrowing it. I didn't call her, didn't text. I drove straight to her apartment with my brother Diego, who's a cop, off-duty but still intimidating in his uniform he hadn't changed out of. Amber answered the door in designer loungewear I'd never seen before. Her face went white when she saw Diego. Started stammering about misunderstandings, how she was just getting it appraised, how she'd never actually sell it. Diego asked to see the ring. She said it was at Christopher's place for safekeeping. I pulled up the listing on my phone. Says here the seller can meet today for cash transactions. Should we test that? She started crying, saying Christopher's parents weren't impressed by anything, that they'd called her middle-class trash, that Christopher dumped her the next day. She needed money for rent because she'd spent everything trying to look rich for them. She planned to buy the ring back after she got her bonus next month. Diego pointed out that selling stolen property was a felony. The ring was documented in the will as mine. She'd signed a paper acknowledging it was a loan, and now it was listed for sale online. Pretty clear-cut theft. Amber broke completely, ran to her bedroom and came back with the ring, shoved it at me, started screaming that I ruined her life, that I had everything. The ring, grandmother's love, my mother's support. Why couldn't I share just once? Why did I have to be so selfish? I took the ring and asked Diego to check if it was real. He examined it, nodded. As we turned to leave, Amber grabbed my arm. Please don't tell the family. They'll disown me. I pulled up the listing again, screenshotted it, and sent it to our family group chat. Found Amber selling grandmother's ring online after I loaned it for one night. Ring recovered. Then I blocked everyone except my mother and Diego. The family exploded. Aunt Delia called my mother screaming about public humiliation. Other cousins said I went too far. Some aunts said Amber was probably desperate. My mother finally sent her own message to the group. Anyone defending theft can remove themselves from our holiday gatherings. Half the family went silent. Amber moved back with her parents last month. The ring now sits in a safety deposit box at the bank. I wear a replica for those 2 days a year. The real one will go to my future daughter, if I have one, with explicit instructions that it never leaves the direct line. Grandmother would understand.